Between the Middle Ages and the early modern age, the Republic of Venice was a commercial center of primary importance, the fundamental hub between the East and the West. Luxury goods such as Indonesian spices, porcelain and lacquered wood from China, cottons and gemstones from India, traveled from Asia to Europe, passing through the Silk Road and arriving in Venice. Venice was a large emporium where raw materials were processed. Think of the flourishing production of glass and soap, and where exotic products from the Levant were redistributed to continental Europe. The importance of Venice was also reflected in the geographical maps of the time. What for us is today the Adriatic Sea, in fact, was referred to as the Gulf of Venice, to underline the control that the Republic had over this portion of the Mediterranean Sea. This term had been coined by Venetian cartographers, but such was the fame of Venice that it was widely recognized even outside the borders of the Republic, as evidenced by the maps contained in the magnificent Atlas Major by Willem and Johan Bleu, printed in Amsterdam between 1662 and 1672. Of course, the discovery of America and the new oceanic routes were a severe blow to Venice. In 1500, upon hearing of the arrival of the first Portuguese ship carrying a cargo of pepper directly from the Indian Ocean, several Venetian companies declared bankruptcy. However, the Venetians were able to develop a kind of counteroffensive. They began to spread rumors that the pepper imported by the Portuguese was of inferior quality, due to the long voyage and poor preservation in this way. They managed to keep a portion of the market. Throughout the early modern age, therefore, there was indeed a relative decline in the economic power of Venice, but the city continued to be an important center for the circulation of goods, people and information. At mid-18th century, as the registers kept by the Cinque Savie alla Mercanzia, which today we could identify with a sort of Ministry of Economy, still testify, goods arrived in Venice from all over the world, not only from the traditional circuits with the Levant, but also from the New World, America. Coffee, tea, cocoa, Brazilian timber, pepper, cinnamon, turmeric, sugar and medicinal herbs such as dragon's blood, Spanish herb, sassafras and quinine, the latter used for the treatment of malarial fevers. In turn, refined products came out of Venice, such as chocolate or products linked to the consumption of these new exotic goods, such as coffee pots. Or like the then very famous teriaca, a panacea, a medicine capable of curing all kinds of ailments, whose precise secret recipe was jealously guarded by the Venetian apothecaries and whose production was regulated and highly controlled by the city authorities. The teriaca was a real global product, which contained ingredients from all over the world: pepper, cinnamon, saffron, nutmeg, Peloponnesian wine, but above all, viper meat from the Euganian Hills near Padua, and opium, the only substance to have a real effectiveness in the treatment of pain. Venice, as we have seen with the case of pepper, was also a center for the production of news and imaginary, which in fact allowed it to partially contain the commercial competition of the Atlantic powers, the Portuguese, the Spaniards, and then the Dutch, the English and the French. Venice retained its role thanks to a widespread network of informants, spies, consuls and ambassadors, but also thanks to highly developed publishing and printing industries. In 1773, there were 35 active shops in Venice alone, with more than 800 persons enrolled in the Guild of Printers. Venice spread its books throughout Italy, the Ottoman Empire, the Austrian Empire, Malta, France, North Africa, Syria, and all the West, Holland, England, Spain, Portugal, and northern Germany. A wealth of books and geographical maps was produced in the mainland in centers such as Bassano, which in 1767 counted 4 paper mills and over 2,000 workers employed by the Remondini printing and publishing house.